qualities. And so we'll go through these one by one. The first quality we're going to talk about is dignity. Treating your customers with dignity. Okay, what does that mean? Dignity is defined in the dictionary as treating others with as being worthy of esteem, honor, and respect. How do you treat customers as being worthy of esteem and honor? And that's a very important question to ask yourself, because if you're not treating your customers like they're king, somebody else is going to, and that person is going to get their business. And so how do you keep that in mind? Treating your customer like royalty. Because sometimes we fall into this habit of wanting to treat them like a royal pain in the butt, right? That's the only royalty we think of. But if we think of, in fact, you may even help to visualize that. As you go into a place of business, a client, an existing client, a prospect, think of them as a dignitary, maybe an ambassador from another country, maybe a governor, a president, a king. How are you going to treat that person if you go in with that frame of mind? You're going to treat them very naturally with dignity. And it comes from one question. One question. Now, one of your customers, one of my favorite places to do business, the only place I ever get my oil changed is called Oil Stop. And on their wall, this is their philosophy. This one question is the most important thing in their business philosophy. That one question is, how may I serve you? In fact, if you call them on the phone, that's how they answer the phone. Hi, this is Brian with Oil Stop. How may I serve you? What an excellent question, because if you approach your customers with that in mind, how can I serve you, then that changes your relationship with them. You're not there to sell them something. You're there to fill a need that they have. And that's a very different relationship with the customer. And if that's your concern, how can I serve you, then treating them with dignity is going to come very naturally. It's going to be very easy. It's going to be second nature. But it takes something on your part, something that you have to cultivate. And it's not something that's very popular in the world today. It's not something that's very promoted in the world today. But it's a very basic quality to this, and that's humility. You see, we're so caught up as a society in it's all about me that we forget that quality of humility. Approaching our customers from a humble perspective. Now, what does that mean? That means that we don't come to the customer thinking that we have all the answers. Because if we approach our customers thinking that we have all the answers, what's the customer going to do? Has anyone ever tried that? How do your customers react? If you go to them and they say, well, I'm using, say you go to your customer and they tell you, well, I'm using mobile product and I'm happy with it. Now what? Because you sell a different product, right? You sell Chevron. And so then your sometimes inclination is to say, well, I've got a better product than what you're using. And that's going to put the customer off, because what does it imply? It implies that they've made a wrong decision. And that somewhere along the line, they made a mistake in choosing whatever product line they were going to use. And so what you have to do, instead of trying to sell them your product, in this case the Chevron product, what you want to do is help them to see the benefits of buying it. Make them want to buy it. If you can accomplish that, you'll never have to sell another drop of oil in your life, because they'll want to buy it from you. And so, again, that's going to take humility. We get our heads crammed full of knowledge, product knowledge, and all of the training that you go to, all of the training that Steve sends you to, they're very big on product knowledge, right? That's the important thing. Knowing that product, knowing why it's superior to everything else on the market. That's great. You want to take that knowledge, but you have to put it in secondary place. You don't want to let that knowledge puff you up and make you think you know it all. Approach the customer with humility, treat them with dignity, and then they will want to buy from you. And so, as we do that, we think about those qualities. Again, what's the overriding question? What's the most important question? How may I serve you? And again, that quality that goes hand in hand with that, humility. Those are the important things to remember when it comes to treating your customers with dignity.